Hello guys, how are you? I selected today several questions from the Programming for Beginners group in Facebook. Let's get into it. Okay, the first one is from Wolf Hunter. He says, how to get all the A's inside the array. I saw he had a very good approach of the solution and I took it here to my IDE. So the thing is, he was trying to verify values by concatenating those values into a string and then comparing that with a character or something. Let's take the code from Wolf and try to solve it. So here it is. If we run it, we will get an error. Yeah, it could say we have an array index out of bounds exception. The thing we have to check here is mostly if you just want to see which are the A's in this array, you just have to go and verify the positions. You won't have to concatenate them here. So for now, I'm not going to use this variable for anything. I am just going to check if this position is an A. And for comparing a chart, you just have to use the single quotes symbol. So I don't see we need this. We can go without it. And just print here the value of the array. If we run the code, we'll have now the 4 A's. Yeah, if we change it to, for example, B, we will have, oh no, we don't have B's. Let's check with D. We have 1D here. Or let's check with E. And that's it. You had it pretty close. This was a very good approach. You just had to change the verification here. Directly verify with this variable. Next question. Okay, next question is from Ruchikapal. He says he has compilation errors in Python. The error says it is an indentation error. This is pretty common when you start on languages like Python. In this case, he is defining add with two parameters, two variables that are passed to that function, and it will reply with the sum of those values. It is a pretty common function for adding values. So we have to be very careful with the syntax of Python. In this case, when we go to the next line, we will have to do an indentation that's a tabular inside of the function. So the code, you see the code inside of the function is a little bit to the right. In this case, it's a return. So if we try to use the function, we'll have to do something like print add 3 and 6. So if we run it, we will have the sum here. In the case we didn't left the indentation here, it would be an error. For example, when we save it, it will say return outside of the function. So if we run it, it would say indentation error, expected an indented block. So this is your problem. You'll have always all the commands that are inside of a function should be tabular to the right one space, like that. So Python knows this is inside of add, and this is inside of power, and so on. Okay, next question is from Abdul Rahman. Okay, this is C code. He says it has an error. I found the error, but let's just check it again. This is the first tip the code is giving you. He says on the line 18, column 20, format %d expects argument of type integer. The problem is here, it's pretty much clear which is the problem here, but let's just try. So I put in 10 and then 10 again and then -1. I would say the sum is definitely not the number we should expect. So the thing is this, you are passing the reference of the variable instead of the value. So you have to remove the %% from there. Here you have to pass it like that because in this case you're passing the number, the variable as reference. In this case you just pass the variable, not the reference. So if we try it again, it will be something like 10, 10 again, -1, and it is 20. It's a pretty common error when we start with C. There's a difference between scanf and printf. So yeah, that's the problem. Next question. Okay, this one is from Daniel Mejia. He says, "What's up, friends? Can someone tell me what's the difference between using while with or and in Python?" Yes, of course, Daniel. Let's check it. First, we have to know how Python instructions work. So if I type in here print hello, I'll just type it here, print hello, and I run this code, it will show hello. If I want to print hello using a condition, it would be something different. For example, I can do while true. For Python to understand print is inside of while, we have to move it to the right. So it would be something like that. If I do this, it will start printing hello while true. It means it will print it forever. Okay, let's try it. And look at that. It won't stop printing hello because we said we want to print hello forever. So let's stop it. So how about if we try to do while false? It simply won't print it because it won't. False is something never gonna happen, so it won't print hello ever. So how about we say print while true or false? In this case, Python is going to analyze two segments of validations. So if one of them is true, he will go in the printing. So in this case, it will get in the printing because one of the conditions is true. Let's check it. There it is. It will print hello forever because just one of the OR conditions is true. So let's stop here and let's say and. So in this case, and it's different to OR because he will check both conditions has to be true. In this case, this is true and this is false. So it won't print hello. And that's it. It doesn't print it. Okay. So, this true and false thing doesn't make so much sense. This means this is a condition that has to be met and this is another condition that has to be met. How can we do it? It's very easy. Let's do it with integers. We have x equals 10 and y equals 5. So we can say here x greater than 8. X is 10. So yeah, it's greater than 8. So this is true. And we can say here y less than 3. So y is 5, so it's not less than 3. In that case, this is true and this is false. So it won't get in here. Yeah, it doesn't get in. But if we say x greater than 8 and y less than 10, for example, yeah, y is 5, so it is less than 10. So it will get in. So we stop. The same case if we use OR. So in this case, this is greater than 8 and this is lower than 10. It will get in. We have to do it like the time before. In this case, this is false, but this is true. So because it is an OR condition, it would get in. The only case it won't get in with an OR condition it is if none of them is accomplished. So we can do something like if x is greater than 20, this is 10, so it's not greater than 20, and this is not less than 3, so none of these conditions are met, so it won't get here. So Danielle, that's the explanation of how OR AND works in while loops in Python. That's pretty much it, and just keep making questions. Bye.